A seleção brasileira foi muito bem nos amistosos, com uma vitória no jogo contra a Inglaterra e um empate contra a Espanha. A seleção brasileira mostrou um bom futebol organizado e seguro. Dorival Júnior conseguiu trazer o prazer de ver um futebol bonito na seleção brasileira, trazendo novos jogadores tanto na defesa como no ataque. No jogo contra a Inglaterra, o Brasil foi muito bem, dando meio à seleção inglesa. Passa segurança incrível no gol, Fabrício Brum e Beraldo sendo monstros na zaga. O ataque da seleção inglesa teve algumas dificuldades para chegar ao gol brasileiro, e quando chegava, Bento parava qualquer chance inglesa. Ambos os times tiveram várias chances para chegar ao gol, mas nenhum deles tinha sorte para a bola entrar. Até que aos 34 minutos do segundo tempo, a bola sensacional de Andrés Pereira para Vinícius Júnior teve a chance de abrir o placar em uma defesa incrível de Pickford. A bola sobra nos pés do moleque de apenas 17 anos. Fazer o primeiro gol com a camisa da seleção brasileira e sendo o quarto jovem jogador brasileiro a marcar em Wembley. Veja agora alguns comentaristas ingleses falando sobre o jogo e a joia brasileira que marcou o gol da vitória contra a Inglaterra.
Gareth Southgate insisted he was pleased with England's performance as they fell to their first defeat at Wembley in 21 games, a 1-0 loss to Brazil. It's the first time in more than a year that England have failed to score, but there's also new injury concerns, but there was a new star on show at Wembley as Endrick became the youngest player to score a senior goal at the stadium.
I was pleased. Clearly don't like losing football matches, but I thought there were lots of very good individual performances from players who've hardly played for England. I think you're dealing with exceptional quality, so there were a couple of moments. Vinicius just got inside Kyle on the one that he got injured on. There were a couple of great quality passes, 1-2s played in behind, but you're talking about players in that attacking third at the very highest level of the game, and you are going to have moments where your goalkeeper has to make a save, or your defenders have to pull off an outstanding block or whatever it might be. So. I thought we also had those moments at the other end, and I thought it was a really even game. If it had finished a draw, I think that would have been a completely fair result.
Rob, wonderful night for Endrick. The 17-year-old scored his first goal for Brazil, became the youngest player to score a men's international goal at Wembley. That's 17 years and 246 days, to be precise, for the player born in 2006. He said afterwards the emotion of the first goal affected his mindset when he had a second chance to score late in the game. He'll join Real Madrid this summer from Palmeiras for £62 million.
It is something very unique. I said it after the game, and I'm still thinking about the goal. And that got in the way for me in the end, when I could have scored the second. But I can only thank God, because it was a very important moment for me. The craziest things were going through my mind. After that, I could only think about the goal and nothing more. It was so important, not only for me, but also to my family. I'm so thankful, because they're also...
Who targeted Jude Bellingham. Seemed to try and foul or disrupt England every time they had the ball, and it was just very, very poor. The concerns we've been talking about for several years now are still there for all to see. England were very poor defensively. Gareth Southgate didn't mention the goal there, which was a straight ball over the top. Jordan Pickford did what Jordan Pickford does, made a really good save, and Endrick scored on the rebound. But there were two other occasions where, but for an excellent save from Pickford or the width of a post, Brazil would have scored again. England could have lost that 3-0 last night, conceivably, you have to say. And the real concerning point for me is that there are an awful lot of injuries. Yes, there were 12 injuries going into the game and more that were unavailable to Gareth Southgate. The worst injury crisis he's had since he's been England manager.
The qualities that he showed in Brazil and a little bit tonight as well look pretty outstanding.
It's every Brazilian boy's dream, isn't it?
It's not bad, is it? I mean, would you say...
No, I'm tongue-in-cheek. You know, scoring in the debut. Was it his debut?
No, it wasn't. His first goal.
First goal, 17, the mecca of football, Wembley. Every Brazilian young boy dreams of that.
When you saw Endrick play, he's not shy, is he? Like, for a 17-year-old, he just...
He'd fit in well here, wouldn't he?
Well, I don't know.
He's the sublime confidence in his own ability. That's no guarantee where he's going to end up at the end of his career, but I'm always just amazed at the physicality of the youngsters these days coming in to play not only club football, but international football, and also the confidence and swagger that some of these youngsters come in with. It's quite something.
But then there was chances where Brazil should have been 1-0 up.
Yeah.
I think Vinicius Junior should have finished, and then Rafinha should have put one past from Maguire's mistake.
Yeah.
So we look at England as we're good going forward, we're good in certain parts, but at the back we are vulnerable. That's our weak. That's the weak link. And we're talking about a Brazil team who have not won in their last 4 games, who are really struggling. A Brazil team that's depleted with some of their stars. We'll talk about later about who's missing, and we'll have a discussion about that. But no stars
on
like
both
Neymar.
Sides, though. On both sides, Gemma.
Yeah, on both sides.
Come on.
Of course. We've got Harry Kane missing and Saka missing.
Yeah,
they've got Gabriel. They had Gabriel Jesus. They've got Martinelli. They've
Gabriel
got Neymar.
don't get this England team, by the way.
Oh, I think he.
He ain't get ahead of Saka. Ain't get ahead of Foden. Anyway, we digress. Go on.
Yeah, so I think with England it's the same old thing under the manager. I think we just don't. We cannot beat a top 10 FIFA ranked team.
They've come off 3 defeats off on the bounce. They were desperate to avoid a 4th. There was no way this was a friendly, and you saw Bruno Guimaraes was celebrating every throw-in that they won. So it was very, very serious to them indeed. And in 90 minutes tonight, they've put everything that went wrong for them last year. They put that behind them. So it's an important morale booster for them. They had very, very inexperienced defensive unit. Only the right back Danilo had played before, so it's a new goalkeeper. It's a new 2 centre backs and a left back, all playing their first game, and they protected them pretty well. I thought with a low block, without the recognised centre forward, they've left the space there to attack on the transitions. That worked very well for them, I thought. So there was a clear idea of what they were going to do. They had some problems, especially defending the far post from England crosses and free kicks from the right. England had some opportunities there, but Brazil looked good on the transition. I thought Paquetá, while he was on the field, had a terrific game. And history is being made by 17-year-old Endrick scoring the first goal of his international career. And you know what he does? First thing after the game, he comes off the field, he talks to the Brazilian media, and he talks about Bobby Charlton.
Well, that's a fascinating insight, that.
But we also got to talk about Brazil here. They're playing with their 3rd choice goalkeeper. No Alisson, no Edison. You talk about their back four is very inexperienced. I thought the only time they was troubled was from set plays. From open play, they look very comfortable.
Yeah, although there were a lot of fouls, weren't there, in front of that defensive unit. And they knew that the defence was going to be a little bit nervy first game. And I think that the key to the game was how hard the midfield worked and how often they fouled. To be fair, but João Gomes, Bruno Guimaraes, and Paquetá, they really put a shift in, so that they defended as a unit. They had lots of space to burst into when they did go. They did that pretty well, and I agree with you. I think it wasn't a bad game at all, and they probably just shaded it.
Signing for Real Madrid, he's going to be a teammate of Bellingham and Vinicius Junior.
Rodrigo, the Brazilian there.
Yeah, is it another one? Are we looking at another one of those outstanding Brazilian players?
He's a special. Okay. He's special talent. He's one of those where like the really, really greats. It's looked like time is operating slower for them than it is for everyone else. For everyone else, things are happening so quickly. Now, there are finishes. He had a chance to make it 2 there in stoppage time, but there are finishes that he does when it's just like he's passing the ball into the back of the net. He's so quick and he's calm, and he's really, really talented. And he's for someone of his age. This fact that he comes off and talks about Bobby Charlton, he is being well assessed off the field, and he's listening and he's learning. What we found out last year, he was the key player when his side, 17, he's a key player when his side, Palmeiras, won the Brazilian Championships. And what we found out, one of the opposing centre-backs says, you know what he does during the game? He sings away to himself. And I asked him about this a couple of months ago. I said, "What?" He wouldn't tell me the repertoire, but he says that it's something that he does just to keep himself calm, relaxed, and in the zone. And I'm sure he's singing a very happy song at the moment.
George Michael, no doubt, Tim. Listen, appreciate your time, bud.
Cheers, Tim.
The game that it was going to be the greatest night of his life. I think that's what he said, to take charge of his country for the first time ever. I don't think that he ever thought that he could be in that position, and maybe he benefited from, as you said, the environment, Carlos saying no, the managers before not working out. But to be fair, tonight